late in the Suzuki Swift Cup. We've seen him over the years. He was, oh, there they are. Right, I'm not going to read all them out. Where's one? Kees Rienhout. You watch me make a dog's dinner of this. Alain Mosinhoff and Henry Griffin. Welcome, all of you that are listed there. All of you in the 911 club. It does sound like something you'd find in Soho, doesn't it? So, yeah, Niels Langeveld, he is a real character, and we've seen him over the years in GT Masters in 2020. Oh, we're loving this. He knows how to play to the crowd, doesn't he? Can we get a Mexican wave going? Doing a bit of air moving around here. Yeah, Niels Langeveld, he was in the Benelux series last year, got a win there, finished 4th overall. It's come from TCR racing, actually, and in the ADAC TCR was 3rd in 2018 as an Italian touring car champion as well. I think he seems to me to be someone who's really found his home this year in Porsche Sixt Carrera competition. I've been heckled by our German commentators next door. Don't be switching over to the German stream. Burkhard Bechtel and Jan-Erik Schloten. There's 2 of them. They get to have a conversation. I'm doing this on my own. So they are heckling me through the window of the commentary box. So I'm having to keep this going all solo here. With the aid of Niels Langeveld, I hasten to add, who is entertaining us all with the Mexican wave. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, we love you too. That's Niels. Yes, it feels like he's found his home in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. And certainly it's the happiest I've seen him. Not implying he's never unhappy, but he just feels, he looks confident and totally up for the fight. Enough of that. Right, where are we on this? That's a driver getting a helmet on. So I think that's Dirk Schouten, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yes, I know there are different ways of pronouncing Dirk Schouten. I can say Dirk Schouten, but the English tongue is not designed to speak the Dutch language, and I've been given permission by Dirk to call him Dirk Schouten, and I have personal permission because nobody wants to hear me do that again. So Dirk, who was the Carrera Cup Benelux champion of last year. Just looking, this driver's getting in the car, the grid's clearing. I've had no notification on my timing screen of when we're going to restart, but this is encouraging because I think we're going to get this thing rolling. Normally we get a bit of forewarning. Doesn't look like we're going to get that here. But yeah, Dirk Schouten, 24 Carrera Cup Benelux champion, has a gazillion followers on YouTube. We shout you all out. I know there's a lot of vocal people on our YouTube stream, especially, who are all shouting, "Go Dirk, go!" And hi to all of you there. And your man, Dirk, is in 12th place, so he's doing a fairly sterling job. He's 9th in the championship. He's 62 points back from Theo Overhaus. So still in with a shout, as indeed is that man there, the aforementioned Mathieu Verheeren. Right, well, excuse me, nobody has, well, we've got drivers in cars. Looks like they're still building the fence. To me, that was such a big impact, and a shout out to all of the marshals here who do such a sterling job. And we do tend to get quite a lot of red flags and safety cars at Zandvoort. The nature of this undulating circuit. So we look at the glitter on the Schumacher CLRT car of Flint Scheuring. Yeah, we do get a lot of cautions and stoppages just because of this circuit. And so the marshals are always working hard. And I have to just say, shout out to all the marshals. One of them, Shirt, has just, he brought me some stroke waffles today. So he will be forever on my Christmas card list. Okay, I'm afraid some bad news. It looks like the race is not going to restart. So I've just had notification that the race is not going to restart. We're really sorry. We are running late. We've got a DTM schedule. The stream for DTM has to go on around the world at a certain time, and it looks like this is going to be it. So looks like, I'm just looking across, yeah, it looks like the race is not going to be restarted. So it will be, I believe it will be half points that will go to the cars. Okay, all right, so we may get a rerun of this race later on this afternoon. So keep an eye, it sounds like we might get a rerun of this after the last race of the day. So Carrera Cup Benelux is due to finish at 18:15 local time. So I believe they are hoping to try and get this race restarted then. So thank you for bearing with us. Apologies, we haven't been able to bring you a complete race. You can see there why, but we are optimistic we will be able to run the 7th race of the season. Keep an eye on the websites, on the social media. Keep an eye anywhere you can. There will be news posted about a time and when we can rerun race 7. So it doesn't look like it's going to be half points. Looks like we should be able to run this, albeit delayed. So thank you for sticking with us. We will have another race tomorrow morning as well. Maybe we should combine it with this one. That will be at 10:20 local time. So make sure you are here for that, which will be the halfway point of the season. But between now and then, we should hopefully bring you race 7. A race that started off well. It started with Alex Tauscher on pole position. Flint Schering eventually wrestled his way past into the lead of the race. But then we had a big moment where Max Muschleckner, Søren Spreng, Michael Essmann all got together. The barrier was damaged, the red flags came out, and that means it is a pause in race 7. Please make sure you join us later on. Keep an eye on all the social media feeds and on the website. We'll see you a little bit later for the continuation. Race 7, Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. See you later.
Ganz großes Kino.
There's a lot more still to come here.
Barfuß oder Lackschuh.
It is an absolute thrill to be here.
Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany.
Und da geht's los.
30 minutes of explosive action.
Klasse. Oh, I love it, I love it.
Hallo aus Zandvoort und willkommen zum Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland an dieser traditionsreichen Formel-1-Strecke im Rahmen der DTM. Es ist ja einfach eine ganz besondere Strecke hier, so nah an der Küste, Strandfeeling und dann diese verschiedenen Streckenabschnitte, die es so besonders machen hier in Zandvoort. Wir freuen uns auf Lauf 7 und 8. Also wir küren den Halbzeitmeister hier in den Niederlanden. Und bevor es aber auf der Strecke losgeht, schauen wir auf einen Porsche, der mindestens genauso wichtig ist. Der steht hier schon und viele Leute sind auch schon um das Safety Car gerahmt. Denn natürlich erweckt er auch Begehrlichkeiten. Denn das Safety Car, wir wissen, wichtig, hält das Feld zusammen, sorgt für Sicherheit auf der Strecke, ist ein besonderer Porsche. Und den lassen wir uns jetzt mal erklären von einem ehemaligen Carrera Cup Champion.
Die gelbe Flagge, Knöpfchen gedrückt und Licht an. So schön leuchtet nur das Safety Car, das immer dann auf die Strecke fährt, wenn das Feld abgebremst werden muss.
Hallo, mein Name ist Christian Menzel. Ich bin im Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup, der sogenannte Driver Advisor. Ich sitze in der Rennleitung und bin die rechte Hand vom Rennleiter sowie von den Stewards. Aber mit unserem Safety Car gibt es durchaus eine emotionale Verbindung. Man muss sich vorstellen, es ist ja ein E-Auto. Wir haben 1034 PS bei rund 2210 Kilo Leergewicht. Taycan Turbo GT mit Weißdachpaket. Das Ding geht 0 auf 100 in 2,9 Sekunden und hat einen Topspeed von 290 km/h. Und das dann bereift mit einem Semi-Slick, da sage ich euch, dann tut unser kleiner E-Freund, unseren GT3s hier, ganz schön weh. Der kann die ganz schön ärgern, also geradeaus auf jeden Fall. Und in den Kurven sind wir auch nicht langsam. Also unser Safety-Car-Fahrer hat hier eine echte Waffe. Es ist ein vollwertiges Auto. Der Unterschied zum Serienauto ist natürlich ganz klar, dass wir ihn jetzt hier mit einem unserer Sponsoren gebrandet haben. Und wir haben das Equipment auf dem Dach, was ein Safety Car braucht, nämlich die Rundumleuchten, mit denen wir den Fahrern signalisieren, wie die Situation auf der Rennstrecke jetzt ist. Und naja, wenn wir da so reinschauen, dann haben wir echt ein richtiges Sportwagengefühl. Wir haben oben unsere Lampen, die wir aktivieren können. Also zum Beispiel die gelben Lampen ist das Zeichen, dass das Feld sich im Auto sammeln soll. Und so haben wir unseren Safety-Car-Fahrer, der ist über Funk mit der Rennleitung verbunden und befolgt halt quasi die Anweisungen, die der Rennleiter ihm gibt. Er bestimmt die Pace und versucht das Feld zusammenzuführen, sicher an den Unfallort vorbeizuführen. Das ist die Aufgabe vom Safety-Car-Fahrer. Wenn sie mal keinen mehr haben, dann mache ich das auch noch zur Not. Mit der grünen Lampe kann er den Autos ein Signal geben, dass sie überholen sollen. Weil wir müssen ja manchmal das Feld auch sortieren. Aber wenn gelb ist, dann ist das quasi Überholverbot des Safety Cars. Gehen die Lampen aus, dann heißt das Safety Car in this lap. Das sind dann immer diese berühmten Restarts, die wir so erleben. Ne? Wie das Safety Car vorne wegpfeift, das Feld mal kurz langsam fährt und dann halt auch irgendwann mal das Tempo anzieht. Dieses Beschleunigen, ja, und dann dieses Verzögern. Ich habe ja ein sehr faltiges Gesicht vom vielen Lachen und die waren alle weg, die Falten danach. Der Apparat geht mal richtig vorwärts und da haben unsere Fahrer Respekt vor, weil die wissen, dass du dich mit dem Auto leistungstechnisch nicht anlegen solltest.
Danke für diese interessanten Einblicke. Dann mal schauen, ob das Safety Car hier in Zandvoort zum Einsatz kommt.
Von Startplatz 3 aus sieht Flint Touring das Safety Car, also hat es in ganz guter Sicht und kommt hier natürlich auch mit sehr viel Selbstvertrauen. Hat beide Rennen in Spa gewonnen, ist Niederländer, das muss ein besonderes Rennen für ihn sein. Flint, here in front of the Netherlands fans, must be something special. Is it one of your favorite circuits here?
Yeah, for sure. Racing at home is always special, and luckily my home track is also a really beautiful one, so always a special moment.
Do you have family and friends here coming to the track?
Yeah. So family and friends, of course, here for almost very close to home. So always nice.
And I guess you are at the moment quite confident after a very successful race weekend in Spa. So how to keep it up here?
Yeah, I hope so. The last few races have been very good, so we try to keep it up.
And congrats for that and yeah, good luck for the race. Also er sagt natürlich, das ist ganz besonders hier zu Hause für ihn. Er hat Familie, Freunde da, die kommen an die Strecke und er will natürlich seine guten Ergebnisse bestätigen. Und wenn wir dabei sind auf der Strecke, die Autos fahren gleich raus, aber zuvor haben sich die Fahrer und Teams auch mal anderweitig auf die Strecke getroffen.
2 of back-to-back weekends of racing for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Hello everybody, welcome to the seaside, welcome to Zandvoort. Glorious conditions, unlike last weekend when we were at Spa-Francorchamps in the wind and the rain and the snow. Something altogether different, I have to tell you. It's boiling here in the Netherlands. We're about 20 kilometers from Amsterdam. We are in the North Sea dunes and we are getting ready for one of the highlights of the calendar. An air temperature of 25.3 degrees centigrade and rising as we get ready for race 7 of a 16 race season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Can you believe it? By the end of tomorrow, we will be halfway through the season, and this man here is very much a championship challenger. Alex Tauscher has proven to be absolute Mr. Consistency. He's not finished below 4th place in any race this season so far, and that has meant that he is second in the championship to Theo Overhaus, who won the first 2 races of the season. But in qualifying yesterday, Alex Tauscher on pole position for the 5th time in his career. But Chester Kiefer really stealing the headlines. The number 11 car for Schumacher CLRT outscoring the sister car with the more experienced Flint Schuring at the wheel, earning a front row start. Chester Kiefer, something of a sensation in the rookie championship. He is, of course, the highest rookie in this race. Flint Schuring, a man very much on the ascendancy. His domination last weekend at Spa-Francorchamps left everybody saying, what on earth just happened? He didn't just win, he crushed the opposition, and at his home race here at Zandvoort will be looking to do something similar, but he's got a lot of competition around him. Marcus Armand, the other of the Porsche juniors alongside Flint Schuring, starts 4th on the grid, so Marcus will be looking to move forward from there, just 1 position away from a potential podium. But keep an eye on Joe Warhurst. He's had a great qualifying. The qualifying took place yesterday evening, and Joe really hooked it up in the target car, looking to get his first ever podium. I chatted to him at breakfast this morning. He was looking chilled, calm, and collected. I expect the heart rate is starting to raise a little bit at the moment. His sister car with Aldo Festante, guest driver, who comes all the way from Italy to be here on the grid for this round. He's another pilot who will be looking very strong. 5th place is the best that he's had, and that was at Imola at the start of this season. Theo Overhaus, though, is the championship leader. He leads Alex Tauscher by just 6 points, and a fairly strong qualifying from him. He's a little bit further back than maybe he would like, but Alex Tauscher will be one to watch in this Theo Overhaus, I beg your pardon, we want to watch in this race as he starts from 7th on the grid. He's got Keegan Masters alongside him, the South African, who had a torrid time at Spa-Francorchamps and will be looking to get back to the top of the championship standings, a position that he had going into Red Bull round 2 of the season. So we are at Circuit Zandvoort. We've traveled about 300 kilometers northwest across Europe from Spa to altogether better weather conditions. The grid is packed, 32 cars, the maximum number allowed for what is turning out to be a sensational season, the 37th in the history of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. And the cars looking majestic in the sunlight. Just to look at the other championship standings, of course, we've already mentioned Chester Kiefer. He leads the way in the rookies. He's 9 points clear of Montego Masson. Chester having a really good run of form, finishing on the top step of the podium for the rookies in the last 3 races. In the Pro-Ams, it's Zoran Spreng who leads Michael Essmann. He's 12 points clear of him in the Pro-Am standings, and Proton Competition lead Target in the team standings. So the car's now starting on that all-important formation lap, the time to generate heat into the tyres and into the brakes, but tyre degradation in this race is going to be very, very significant. Most of these cars, the new Cup car from Porsche with a new tyre for this year, have not done 30 minutes of uninterrupted racing. So it's a voyage of discovery. Alex Tauscher starting on that pole position with Chester Kiefer alongside. Then local man Flint Schuring has Marcus Amand alongside him. On row 3 of the grid, it is Joe Warhurst and Aldo Festante alongside him. And then championship leader Theo Overhaus has Keegan Masters for company. On row 5, Matheus Ferreira from Brazil, Caleb Sumich from Australia. Both of them were disappointed with their qualifying, but both looking fairly strong. Keep an eye on Niels Langeveld, another local driver, also Dirk Schouten. There's a whole bunch of Dutch drivers together here because we've got Wouter Boerkamp and Sam Yongyan. Sam, who is third in the rookies on the grid. Sebastian Freimuth and Gus Burton. He was disappointed with his quali as well. 17th, Louis Perrault from France. And Dylan Yip in the number 6 car from Hong Kong. Then it's the pole sitter, the guesting Niels Troost on the pole for the Pro-Ams has Gianluca Tucciaroglu alongside him. Second in the rookies, Montego Masson has Nick Ho alongside him on row 11. Nick, another of the local drivers. Then it's Jonas Greif and Alexandra Vatova from Bulgaria on row 12. On row 13, Ahmed Al-Shihab from Kuwait has Daniel Roos alongside him. He's from Sweden. Max Mutschlechner is actually Italian, not German. Gustav Bergstrom alongside him. Then it's Tim Reiter, Søren Spreng, the championship leader for the Pro-Ams on row 15. And then bringing up the rear, Mikael Esman, another of our Australian visitors, Sam Shaheen, will be looking to make progress from row 16, 32nd on the grid. So here at Circuit Zandvoort, it is a track like no other. I'm not going to call it the Mini Nordschleife because everywhere seems to be called the Mini Nordschleife nowadays, but you can see the points situation there. Tauscher 6 points adrift of Overhaus, but it's consistency that wins championships, not necessarily wins, and consistency is what Alex Tauscher has shown. This circuit is 4.259 kilometers around. That's about 2.6 miles with 14 turns, 10 to the right and 4 to the left. And of course, it's the insane banking. And when I say insane, I really mean it. It is proper steep. 19 degrees in turn 3, 18 degrees in turn 14, the Ari Luijendijk turn. It's a lot steeper than it looks on TV, I'll tell you that. I tried just walking up it is a challenge. A big crowd here this weekend. Part of the DTM platform. They are about to be entertained. This is the silence before the storm. Because any second now, we are racing at Zandvoort. The first of 2 races this season. Alex Tauscher cuts across in front of Chester Kiefer. Now into turn 1 they come. Kiefer challenging back on the outside. So Chester Kiefer, Alex Tauscher, a little bit of contact between the two of them, but all the cars making it around turn 1. Now into turn 2, it'll be up onto the high banking of turn 3 we come. But Alex Tauscher now getting himself in front. Kiefer very nearly beating him into turn 1, but now Tauscher is there. But Kiefer flashing the lights. Keep an eye on Keegan Masters. He's challenging 3 abreast as we head towards Rob Slotmaker and down into Shine Black. This is a real undulating track. Lots of ups, lots of downs, lots of blind crests. The car's getting airborne over some of the curbs. This is a tricky corner as we come down here now into the right-hander. Alex Tauscher leading the way after that early challenge at the start. We've got more coming further back. That's Gianluca Tucciaroglu who finds a route past Nick Ho. So Tucciaroglu taking advantage in the early moments of this race while everybody's bunched together. Also, Wouter Boerkamp's there in the number 25 car. Had a disappointing qualifying, but he's now fighting for those positions as well. But it's Alex Tauscher leads the way. Schuring is up into second place. So Flint Schuring getting past the sister car. Chester Kiefer leading the way for the rookies. Marcus Amand in that 4th place. A stonking start for Keegan Masters up to 5th place, relegating Joe Warhurst down to 6th. Then Matheus Ferreira, championship leader Theo Overhaus is next in 8th. Then Aldo Festante, 2nd in the rookies, 10th overall will be Caleb Sumich, rounding out the top 10. Out across the line we come. to complete the first lap of the race. It's 30 minutes plus 1 lap of racing for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland here at Zandvoort. And Tauscher now needs to stay in control. Alex Tauscher, he's won twice in his career of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, but Flint Scheuring wants to keep it as twice. He takes a lower line into turn 3. Tauscher taking the faster high line, but this is the local race for Flint Scheuring. He's got a lot of guests here. The home crowd are cheering him on. He will want to get past Alex Tauscher. Chester Kiefer putting the pressure onto Flint Scheuring. So the two sister cars fighting each other while they're doing that. That will allow Alex Tauscher just to break clear a little bit at the front. Remember what I said early on, tyre degradation might well be an issue. I don't think anybody in this race has gone a full 30 minutes in this car on these tyres, but Keegan Masters now to the inside of Marcus Armand, so that's a 4th place. Armand fighting back, relegates Masters back down to that 5th, but Masters is not done yet. He had a dreadful qualifying yesterday afternoon, but clearly whatever was wrong with the car, they've sorted it out overnight, because Masters is a man on a mission. The number 3 car for Proton Competition versus the number 99 car from Proton Competition. The team will be watching from behind the cushion in the garage as the two teammates challenge each other. Tauscher taking advantage of Scheuring and Kiefer fighting each other, but now Scheuring has broken clear of Chester Kiefer out of Ari Leindijk. They come out along the pit straight, picking up something of a slipstream as they head towards turn 1, absolutely flat out in towards Tarzan. Flint Scheuring having a little look to the outside of Alex Tauscher. Keegan Masters still setting about. Marcus Armand, a little bit of contact. Masters corrects it, but that allows Marcus Armand to break clear very, very slightly. Look at this. This is for the lead. Alex Tauscher looking for his 3rd ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Flint Scheuring looking for his 8th ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Alex Tauscher has only ever won at the Nürburgring. He said to me this morning, I want to win somewhere other than at the Nürburgring. He's not been in good health and has been moving from his bed to the driving seat of the number 13 car and then back to his bed. A bit of a heavy dose of the flu, but it hasn't affected his pace. He leads the way here at Zandvoort. Right, this is Masters and Armand. Once again, you could see Masters to the inside in Tarzan. I think Armand tried to shut the door. The two cars making just very slight contact. It hasn't been any issue flagged up by our race directors. And nothing that won't cut out after the race is finished. So out of Tarzan Bock they come. Look at this still for the lead of the race. Alex Tauscher now with Flint Scheuring putting the pressure on. If you ask Flint Scheuring where he wants to win the most, he would say here in front of his home crowd at Circuit Zandvoort. Into turn 13 they will come once again. And up onto the banking. Up to about 123 kilometers now into the banking. Now Scheuring to the inside of Tauscher. This time he's got the line into Tarzan and he takes the lead. So Alex Tauscher shuffled back down the order, but he's not done yet. Alex Tauscher into turn 2. He will come and into the bank into turn 3. Meanwhile, further back, the fight for 4th place continues. Now Alex Tauscher, having lost that position to Flint Scheuring, has got another Schumacher CLRT car. He is the meat in a black and gold sandwich in that 2nd place, because Chester Kiefer looking for his 1st ever overall podium in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. We're looking there at the view into turn 1. We could see that move there and how it was done. Clinical from Flint Scheuring. He was devastating at Spa in both races. He's looking to be devastating here at his home circuit. Chester Kiefer now ducks to the inside of Flint Scheuring. He's already in a podium position, but he fancies moving up a step. This is for 2nd place. The two 2nd place cars running side by side. Then 4th place Marcus Armand in the background, still with Keegan Masters filling his mirrors. It's a side-by-side race into turn 11. So Marcus Armand holding on there in that 4th place. Here's our race leader, Flint Scheuring. He's opened up a gap over 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, all running together. Our leader in the Pro-Ams is Niels Trost in 23rd place overall. In 2nd place in the Pro-Ams is Ahmed Al-Shihab. 3rd, Mikael Esman. Right, the start is under investigation. That'll be interesting. Haven't seen any reason why the start might be under investigation, but we'll keep one eye on that. We keep the other on Alex Tauscher, who is fending off the rookie. Right, what happened here? The lights went out, didn't see anybody moving too early. Alex Tauscher, fairly aggressive defense into turn one, as is his right. Look at Niels Lagerveld in the background, trying to go 3 abreast into turn one. Niels Lagerveld, who started racing here in 2008 in the Suzuki Swift Cup. Little did he know that 8 years, no more than 8 years, dodgy maths, all these years later, 18 years later, he would be racing in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland in such a competitive field. The banking of turn 3, you can't even walk up there without taking a run at it. It is so steep. And the cars all making it up through there. The great bit about turn 3 is the drivers can take all sorts of different lines through it. They can go high, they can go low. A real good opportunity to make up places. As we look at some great replays from our onboards, and that's the view from Marcus Armand as Aldo Festante was challenging early on in the race. Right, Gianluca Tucciaroglu, that was the replay of him, and Nick Ho. Gianluca in the number 91 car, currently in 19th place. And he will really want to get a good score out of this race. He's got a very rapid car, just needs to keep himself out of trouble. So 19th place at the moment, not quite in the points, but making good progress. Making good progress out the front. Once again, Flint Schuring opens up that gap, 1.395. Now, Alex Tauscher really wants to win the race, but he needs to just make sure he can stay on the podium, because that is going to be valuable points. Marcus Armand still under pressure from Keegan Masters. You see, taking the different lines into turn 3. Masters briefly looking down low, then going up high. But Joe Warhurst in 6th place. He will be ready to pounce if these cars get together. Joe, his best finish has been a 5th place so far. Now, who's that? That's into the gravel. I think it's Max Muschlechner. Yes, it is. So Max Muschlechner has been into... Oh, and that's Søren Spreng as well. This is going to bring out a certain safety car. So that's out of Tarzanbocht. So Søren Spreng and Max Muschlechner have clearly got together. We are at the 1/3 point of the race. Good to see Søren Spreng emerging from the car, but there's clearly been a big impact there. So this is going to almost certainly, well, definitely, I'd say, bring out a safety car. And it's Mikael Esman who got into both of them, and heavy impact into the barrier. Max Muschlechner getting up onto 2 wheels, almost an up and over. And I fear there may be some barrier damage here. This might even go to a red flag. We're still green at the moment, but the Pro-Am Championship leader and the rookie, Max Muschlechner, good to see Max out of the car as well. They build him safe at Porsche. Right, well, we are safety car at the moment. And we look nervously at the screens, because if the barrier's damaged, we may well get a stoppage. Good to see Søren Spreng just getting checked over at the side of the track. But safety car is out at the moment. We are running a little bit behind schedule here already. Today, we've had a number of stoppages. We had one in DTM Quali this morning. We had another one in Benelux Quali this morning. So the cars coming past the scene of the crime very, very slowly. We will see what occurs there. But the best news of all is that Max Muschlechner and Søren Spreng are out of the cars and look to be okay. Well, there's Søren on the right-hand side of the picture, now walking back to the pits. But the championship leader will be scoring no points from this race. The Pro-Am Championship leader. So it was Mikael Esman on the inside of both of them. Max Muschlechner, wow, that was dramatic indeed. And I'd say actually the catch fencing took more of a hit than the actual barrier did. I should think that Max will be looking for a pilot's license after this. He gets launched up through the gravel trap, then that heavy impact. Oh, the barrier did take a big hit. And the various bits of gantry around. And that's an awful lot of damage to both car and circuit. And I should think both Max and Søren's car is going to take we thought this might be the case. The red flag is out. This may be a go and make a cup of tea moment here, because There's Max getting out of the car. The barrier, I think, is going to need to be repaired because safety is the most important thing of all here. And the trucks will come. Cars can be removed fairly quickly, but they'll need to get that barrier in some way sorted. Max looking disconsolately at the car. He is a great driver, a really welcome addition. He's in the rookie standings. He's been shown as German. He is actually Italian. And he says, even though Mutschlechner is a very German-sounding name, he's said, I'm going to get that flag changed before the end of the season. He was in Porsche Carrera Cup Middle East over the winter, finished 7th in the shortened championship. Was the winner of the Open GT class in last year's Porsche Sprint Challenge Suisse, and a real up-and-coming talent. He's one of the talent pool drivers who are coached primarily by Lupo Wolf-Hensler, who does a great job with the 8 talent pool drivers. Sören Spreng, something of a veteran here. Look at the rear wing on his car. That has been properly chopped. Sören Spreng, he has been in this series for a very long time. I'm just looking to see how many races. I'd like to say I'm doing this from memory, but this is the 90th race for Sören Spreng in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. He is the most experienced driver in the field and is a 2 times Pro-Am champion in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Didn't have a great time last year, but he was the Pro-Am champion in 2023 and 24. I look across to the German commentary box at the side of me, and Jan-Erik Schloten is helping Burkhard Bechtel with his commentary duties. I'm having to do this on my own. But I do remember Jan-Erik and Sören Spreng going wheel to wheel. I think that might have been 23. I think Jan-Erik Schloten would probably rather forget that because it all ended on the last lap of the season with him making a fairly sizable impact with the barrier. There is Sören Spreng, who, as I say, has won those 2 Pro-Am championships, taking over the mantle from Carlos Rivas, who used to own the championship. Right, here's some replays here. And, that is a wild ride for Max Mutschlechner as he goes up high into the air, but there he is, sprinting back. Such a shame. Super guy, really likable, real asset to this series. Someone who's getting better and better. So Max's best finish so far in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland has been a 14th place overall. And Sören Spreng, his best finish in the overall race has been a 10th place, but of course, not so much fighting with all the cars, but very much fighting with the Pro-Am runners. And Pro-Ams are drivers who are a minimum of 30 years old and have not competed in any brand of Pro Series in the last 5 years. And just for the record, a rookie is someone born after the 23rd of February 2001, very specific, and not competed in more than 5 Carrera Cup Deutschland or Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup races prior to this season. So that's what defines the rookie. While we're waiting, I know a lot of people are watching. Please don't go away, because I'm sure this race will be back underway as we see Sören Spreng and Max Mutschlechner just checking up on each other. There's a lot of camaraderie here in the paddock of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Just want to say, for those who are watching, thank you for joining us. We know there's a lot of people who watch us around the world. We really value your input. We read your comments. Thank you to our friends in Canada as well, who are so complimentary of what we're doing here. So thank you. We hear you, and we love the fact that you are enjoying this racing, and indeed around the world. Many, many people. And those of you, I know there are various chat streams going on while this racing is going on, and we give you all a shout out. We say thank you for the passion and the enthusiasm you show for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Of all the gigs that I do, it's certainly up there with one of my favourite. I love Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. I keep saying that because just the Carrera Cup series, Porsche, just pure entertainment. I love it. because it is short, sharp, pure racing. No BOPs, no pit stops, no driver changes, nothing like that. Just insane racing. As Mikael Esman looks at his car, well, that was the corner that may have caused some of the problems. The race directors have referred it to the stewards, and I expect they will want to talk to all the drivers involved there. Mikael Esman, who is another great character, had a nice chat to him while walking the circuit late last night, and certainly the contact would certainly have not been malicious. Mikael, who is a real fair racer, he's an electrician by trade, and always looking for sponsorship as well, and he's in that Pro-Am category, and fixes the electrics by day, and then on the weekends comes and races his car, and is in the Pro-Am Championship race, 12 points clear, 12 points behind Søren Spreng. Third in the Pro-Am Championships is Sam Shaheen, the driver who comes all the way from Australia. And I said it in quali, I'll say it again. He is the promoter and owner of The Bend, the insane track that is in Australia, the second biggest permanent racetrack in the world, second only to the Nordschleife. And Sam, many stories to tell, a real character. As we see Flint Schering, who's climbing from the car. Yeah, it did go up quite high. And I don't know if he saw it in a replay or saw it in his mirrors. Probably in a replay, I'd say. He was well gone at that point. So he's just out of the car. It is incredibly hot here. So everybody just taking an opportunity to cool down. You can see the sparkle in the Schumacher CLRT cars. A lot of drivers in this field are also doing Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup, and there are 2 Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup races here this year. So not only are they looking to score points in the German series, but also looking to get in a setup, to get rehearsal, to get practice ready for Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup that comes all part of the Formula 1 circus when it comes here, when the crowd will be even bigger. Søren Spreng chatting to the great and good at GP Elite, and they will no doubt get to work on that car, and hopefully we will see him back out again tomorrow for the second race of the season. So I talked about championship standings. I'm just going to go over that a little bit more. Theo Overhaus, who leads the way by 100 points. So the remnants of Søren Spreng's car and Max Mutschlechner's car are taken back to the paddock. So Theo Overhaus got the first ever wins for ID Racing, and that was at Imola. It was a clean sweep. He won both races from pole position. Every race this year so far has been won from pole position, with the exception of one. And that was race 1 at the Red Bull Ring, and Alex Tauscher will not like that statistic because he started on pole position for that, but Marcus Armand went on to win. We can see Marcus there, one of the 2 Porsche juniors out of the car, just cooling down. And Marcus, well, he had said at the start of the season he's only doing a partial campaign for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland because his main focus is Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. But I didn't notice in some interviews that I saw with him, he was talking about points for the championship here. So he's been incredibly successful in the Asian series. We're hoping we might be able to persuade him to do all the rounds here in Germany, but that is very subject to confirmation. So he's leading the way in the Asian series. Looking at replays of all that's occurred, and good opportunity for Proton Competition to have a chat. There's Keegan Masters, and he was really putting the pressure on there, wasn't he, in that 6th place. And in fact, when the red flag came out, just looking at the timing screen, Joe Warhurst had got past Keegan Masters. Now, I think that might just be the way they've come back to the grid. I do think that actually Joe Warhurst is in 6th place, just looking at them there. But the 2 Proton Competition cars, the team will be wanting them to cool it a little bit because they don't want any aggro between the sister cars, of course. I mentioned also that these new tyres for this season, the new Michelin tyres, are very much well, it's an unknown quantity really, because it's a revised tyre from last season. The Michelin Pilot Sport Cup N4 for the nerds, and that's the new tyre for this season. We went to the Michelin factory back in February with the talent pool. That was such an education. And I will never disrespect tyres ever again when you see how much love and how much hard work goes into every single tyre. As we just looking at the heavy duty machinery, trying to straighten some very crooked looking fence posts. But we went to the Michelin factory in Clermont-Ferrand in France, and we watched them making the tyres as Flint Sherring catches a little bit of shade and regathers his thoughts. And at this factory, we were watching each tyre is handmade one by one. They're not chonked out of a machine. They are layered up bit by bit, piece by piece, each individual tyre. So much love and effort going into making sure every one of them is perfect. And you think, wow, that's incredible. They do that 4 times for every car in every race. And it's an incredible facility. We went round the test track at the Michelin factory, did it in a minibus, mind you. Minibus driver was giving it the large around the test track. It was really, really something to experience, to see. I think they've got about 5 test tracks there on this massive site that employs hundreds of people, all to make these tyres. They also make the tyres for the World Endurance Championship, various other things. We were prohibited from taking photos or talking any more about it because it's all done under a veil of secrecy. And Michelin, who make everything, looking at the technology for aircraft tyres. We look again at the reason we're under red flag, and it still doesn't look any easier, does it? Michelin, who make tyres for aircraft, they make tyres or wheels for lunar modules or lunar craft, all sorts of things. Real education, and something that we will value. Right, well, looking at that, we can see how Søren Spreng got karate chopped down the middle, can't we? Sam Shaheen did well just to keep out of that one, and he sailed through on the inside of it. And Søren Spreng, Max Muschleckner just ahead of them. That was Ahmed Al-Shihab in the yellow car. Hello to everybody in Q8 who's watching. Your man is back, albeit slightly late into the season. And this is where, it's just such a big accident, and one that will no doubt be replayed for some time to come. I should think that both Max and Søren will be quite happy if it's never replayed again. Mikael might be saying that as well. So that was them disappearing off, and everybody looking at the replays on their phone. And with the barrier so badly damaged, of course, it really is so important that we make sure that everything is safe. The cars are incredibly safe. This is the new 911 Cup car. They've dropped the GT3 Cup name. It was launched at the end of last year. It's stronger, faster, more practical than the previous model. The component life is extended on it. Uses a lot of recycled materials as well. So really thinking about sustainability. And of course, in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, we're also working very much with sustainable fuels as well. Porsche looking ahead at synthetic fuels. We're running a synthetic fuel. Of course, new for this year, there's Alex Tauscher. Fingers crossed. He's probably just needing to get some fresh air, struggling with his health, as I mentioned earlier, just a heavy cold, I think. But synthetic fuel, and new for this year, ABS on this car. The power's a little bit up, so we're up from 510 horsepower to 520 horsepower, but that is not really the full story because there's so much in the way of aerodynamics. We're still the legendary 4-litre naturally aspirated, water-cooled, flat-6 boxer engine mounted in the rear. When you rock up at the circuit, you know when Porsche are out on track. It always reminds me of a violin. Bear with me on this. A violin on its own will sound quite unique, but when you have lots of violins together, they create this sweeping sound. They harmonize with each other. And you find this with Porsche. Okay, all right. I'll have a drink afterwards. Porsche, individually, they sound great, but when you get 32 of these running all together at full tilt, there's this kind of, it sounds like a swarm of angry bees, but it's way more musical than that. And you know when Porsche is in town. And those people on the right-hand side who are in the big stand there, they will know all about it because it is so noisy, so loud, so fast when these cars come past. They always turn heads. Wherever we go, Porsche Carrera Cup, whether it's the German series, the Benelux series, the French series, or whatever, always turns heads. As we see Marcus Armand, who is the champion, outgoing champion of the aforementioned Carrera Cup France series, and was also a winner in Porsche Carrera Cup Australia, like he doesn't travel enough already. One of two drivers who went to the Porsche shootout at the end of last year, and we get one or two drivers every year. The year before it was Theo Overhaus, wasn't it? And then last year we had two drivers, Flint Schuring and Marcus Armand, who became the Porsche Juniors. So back to the new car. It's got a completely revised aero package, and sounds silly, but the front splitter is now in 3 pieces. And you think, well, what's the big deal? But we often see splitters going south in the race. And now with the 3 pieces, it means that they don't have to replace the entire splitter. They only have to replace part of it. It means it's cheaper to manufacture, cheaper to buy, cheaper carriage and shipping, keeping the cost down. The notable differences in the new car are the louvres in the front fenders, the front wings, for better pressure release. There's an updated underbody, as Keegan Masters gives us the thumbs up. He's made good progress in this race. Turning vanes have been added as well. The refined rear wing and airflow management on the car. As a slightly reshaped rear end. It's got a different braking system as well. And of course, ABS. There's Joe Warhurst from Great Britain, from Barnsley. And you won't thank me for attempting that accent. Who's looking chilled there at the moment, just catching the rays on one of the many blue and white Target cars. And Target, who field a lot of cars in this race, most of them are blue and white, just to confuse us. And everybody just waiting. Right, I'm going to have a look at, see if we've got any news on, nothing yet on when we're going to get this back underway. So I shall keep rabbiting on. Thank you for sticking with us. Don't go away, because when we do get notification, this will probably get going fairly quickly. We're at 18 and a half minutes remaining of this race. We're under red flag because of a big incident involving Max Mutschlechner, Sören Spreng and Michael Essmann, with the first two in that list definitely coming off the worst. There's Flint Schuring, there's Chester Kiefer there as well. Chester, another of the talent pool and the rookie champion from last year's Porsche Carrera Cup France series, comes from Luxembourg, and he is in the talent pool. There's another talent pool driver, Matheus Ferreira for Team GP Elite. He comes from Brazil, was pretty grumpy after quali yesterday, still looking for that first win, got his first podium at Spa last weekend, and surely it won't be long before he stands on the top step of the podium. He was in the rookie championship last year, finished third in the rookies last year, and Joe also in the talent pool. Talent pool, 8 drivers that are carefully selected. I've already mentioned they are coached and mentored by Wolf Lupo Hensler, who is a former Porsche Works driver. Great guy, great driver. There's Theo Overhaus, championship leader. Talent pool drivers, though, are not just coached in driving, they're coached in everything from mind management, media training, fitness, nutrition. They even get etiquette training. So at some point during the season, they'll all sit down for a big meal and learn which knives and forks to use. And they're taught not to drink from the bowl when they're having soup, and not to tuck the napkin under the collar and things like that. Apparently, I've been invited to join them for this etiquette training. I don't know if that's just a subtle hint or not, but I shall be very entertained, and I will report back afterwards. There's Alex, just checking everything's all in order there. That's not Keegan, that's Alex Tauscher. And he just checking everything is working, and he will be itching to get back on with this race and get past Flint Schuring. But Schuring is the man on a mission at the moment. So Flint, who had a torrid start to the season, had 2 non-finishes at Imola, caught up in other people's accidents. He got a 10th place in Red Bull Ring, having been turned around in the opening lap of the race, but then has followed it up with a hat-trick of wins. Wants to make it 4 in a row. Aldo Festante from Italy, another of the target cars, and we would love to see Aldo doing a full season. He was here in Carrera Cup Germany in 2023. He's guested in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup as well. One moment, I'm just going to open a door. It's really hot in the commentary box. Right, here we go. Caleb Sumich, he was qualified second in the rookies, currently still classified as second in the rookies. So Caleb comes all the way from Australia, as already mentioned. Really welcome addition, another top guy, and there he is. And he was third in the Middle East Championship over the winter, but has been in Carrera Cup and Sprint Challenge Australia since 2023. Doesn't commute, unlike Sam Shaheen, who quite often commutes. That is a long haul, I'm told. Not that I've ever tried to do it myself. But Caleb has an apartment in Austria, so he's living the dream in Europe, and of course preparing for the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup as well. He's going to be part of that. But Caleb, another of the talent pools, and another really welcome addition to the ranks of Carrera Cup Deutschland. Right, I mentioned him earlier on, that man there, Nils Langevout. Right, he's pointing to the names on his helmet. Now, this is actually quite significant. It is the 911 Club. Sounds like something a bit dodgy, doesn't it? My 911 friends, for 911 euros, you too can join his business club and get your name on his helmet. And Nils Langevout has the names of all of his business club members, those in the 911 business club. There they are, all by name. He's rallying up a bit of support there. I mentioned it during the race that Nils started racing here in 2008 in the Suzuki Swift Cup. We've seen him over the years. He was, oh, there they are. Right, I'm not going to read all them out. Where's one? Kees Rinhout. You watch me make a dog's dinner of this. Alain Mosinhoff and Henry Griffin. Welcome, all of you that are listed there. All of you in the 911 club. It does sound like something you'd find in Soho, doesn't it? So, yeah, Nils Langevout, he is a real character, and we've seen him over the years in GT Masters in 2020. Oh, we're loving this. He knows how to play to the crowd, doesn't he? Can we get a Mexican wave going? Doing a bit of air moving around here. Yeah, Nils Langevout, he was in the Benelux series last year, got a win there, finished 4th overall. It's come from TCR Racing, actually, and in the ADAC TCR was 3rd in 2018 as an Italian touring car champion as well. I think he seems to me to be someone who's really found his home this year in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup. I've been heckled by our German commentators next door. Don't be switching over to the German stream. Burkhard Bechtel and Jan-Erik Schloten. There's 2 of them. They get to have a conversation. I'm doing this on my own. So they are heckling me through the window of the commentary box. So I'm having to keep this going all solo here. With the aid of Nils Langevout, I hasten to add, who is entertaining us all with the Mexican wave. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, we love you too. That's Nils. Yes, it feels like he's found his home in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. And certainly it's the happiest I've seen him. Not implying he's never unhappy, but he looks confident and totally up for the fight. Enough of that. Right, where are we on this? That's a driver getting a helmet on. So I think that's Dirk Schouten, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yes, I know there are different ways of pronouncing Dirk Schouten. I can say Dirk Schouten, but the English tongue is not designed to speak the Dutch language, and I've been given permission by Dirk to call him Dirk Schouten, and I have personal permission because nobody wants to hear me do that again. So Dirk, who was the Carrera Cup Benelux champion of last year. Just looking, this driver's getting in the car, the grid's clearing. I've had no notification on my timing screen of when we're going to restart, but this is encouraging because I think we're going to get this thing rolling. Normally we get a bit of forewarning. Doesn't look like we're going to get that here. But yeah, Dirk Schouten, 24 Carrera Cup Benelux champion, has a gazillion followers on YouTube. We shout you all out. I know there's a lot of vocal people on our YouTube stream, especially, who are all shouting, "Go Dirk, go!" And hi to all of you there. And your man, Dirk, is in 12th place, so he's doing a fairly sterling job. He's 9th in the championship. He's 62 points back from Theo Overhouse. So still in with a shout, as indeed is that man there, the aforementioned Mathieu Ferreira. Right, well, excuse me, nobody has, well, we've got drivers in cars. Looks like they're still building the fence. To me, that was such a big impact, and a shout out to all of the marshals here who do such a sterling job. And we do tend to get quite a lot of red flags and safety cars at Zandvoort. The nature of this undulating circuit. So we look at the glitter on the Schumacher CLRT car of Flint Scheuring. Yeah, we do get a lot of cautions and stoppages just because of the circuit. So the marshals are always working hard, and I have to just say, shout out to all the marshals. One of them, Shirt, has just, he brought me some stroke waffles today, so he will be forever on my Christmas card list. Okay, I'm afraid some bad news. It looks like the race is not going to restart. So I've just had notification that the race is not going to restart. We're really sorry. We are running late. We've got a DTM schedule. The stream for DTM has to go on around the world at a certain time, and it looks like this is going to be it. So it looks like, I'm just looking across, yeah, it looks like the race is not going to be restarted. So it will be, I believe it will be half points that will go to the cars. Okay, all right, so we may get a rerun of this race later on this afternoon. So keep an eye, it sounds like we might get a rerun of this after the last race of the day. So Carrera Cup Benelux is due to finish at 18:15 local time. So I believe they are hoping to try and get this race restarted then. So thank you for bearing with us. Apologies, we haven't been able to bring you a complete race. You can see there why, but we are optimistic we will be able to run the 7th race of the season. Keep an eye on the websites, on the social media. Keep an eye anywhere you can. There will be news posted about a time and when we can rerun race 7. So it doesn't look like it's going to be half points. Looks like we should be able to run this, albeit delayed. So thank you for sticking with us. We will have another race tomorrow morning as well. Maybe we should combine it with this one. That'll be at 10:20 local time. So make sure you are here for that, which will be the halfway point of the season. But between now and then, we should hopefully bring you race 7. A race that started off well. It started with Alex Tauscher on pole position. Flint Scheuring eventually wrestled his way past into the lead of the race. But then we had a big moment where Max Muschleckner, Søren Spreng, Michael Essmann all got together. The barrier was damaged, the red flags came out, and that means it is a pause in race 7. Please make sure you join us later on. Keep an eye on all the social media feeds and on the website. We'll see you a little bit later for the continuation. Race 7, Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. See you later.